Hard Hat's all about showing up to play hard, doing what it takes to win.
If you want to cement legacy, win another.
He's your third center.
You don't want to puff him up too much, but it's hard not to.
This is maybe the most I've ever agreed with you.
Hey, Boy Manning here, and welcome to Garden Report at Summer League with Noah Dalzell, and back on the Garden Report again. First time since the finals, I think.
Wow.
That game 4 at the finals where they got blown out before they won the title. Kevin O'Connor here from Yahoo.
How you guys doing today? You enjoying Vegas?
So far, so good. I've been here for literally an hour, so I haven't made too many impressions.
How many Summer Leagues for you now?
Oh, I don't know. Probably since 2015. I've missed for like 3 years of total, 2 years total.
7,
Pandemic
8.
years, yeah, something like that.
Did you make any of the Orlando Summer Leagues?
Yes. Oh, it was
I
like
was hearing the lore today.
it was like great in some ways because there's like nobody there, and it's just like you sitting courtside and nobody there in a small little gym. But on the other side, like, I don't want to go to Orlando in the middle of July ever again. Like, I much
Instead
prefer
you're going to Vegas.
Well, the dry heat is okay. Like, it's like a warm
Yeah, that's
blanket
fair.
at nighttime.
Yep.
But there's no escaping the heat in Orlando. Like, you step off the plane, and immediately it's like you stepped out of the shower. And it's just disgusting, and it's gross.
It's actually hard to imagine that there could be worse heat than what we're experiencing right now.
I know,
So
I
it's
know,
good
but
for perspective.
Feels like an oven.
But
to
my
me,
my
not a
like
blanket.
my take is like the Vegas heat isn't that bad as long as you stay in the shade.
I'll try to improve
Just
my
stay in the
perspective
shade.
over the next
That's
10
all.
days.
And then at night it's like you get like a warm blanket on when you walk around. Sorry if that's weird, but it's true. I like the Vegas heat at nighttime. It's fun to walk around.
So a lot
Great
has
people watch
happened
them too.
with the Celtics. They've lost everybody, it feels like, at this point. Porzingis, Holiday, Horford. Steph Curry was just talking out at Tahoe, I guess, about when or if Horford's going to join that team. And Brad Stevens said a couple of days ago, Horford's gone. So that's a massive loss alongside Luke Cornett. And I'm forgetting people that they're...
Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis,
Yeah.
both traded.
Jason
So
Tatum, the big loss with the injury.
5
there.
of their 9 rotation players from last year will
That's
not
crazy.
be available to play next year.
When you
I've
think
never
about it
seen an
that way,
offseason like this.
5 of 9. It's like that.
Yeah.
Thinking about it in that way, I mean, it just sucks. The CBA, as Stevens kind of
Yeah.
said, they don't make these moves unless it's because of the CBA.
And I wish we could forecast 3 alternate realities. 1, Tatum doesn't get hurt. What do they do this offseason? We have no idea if the ownership group has anything to do with it. I know people can speculate that they're cheap or whatever, but there's a very good chance that everything would be exactly the same if it was, the previous ownership group. So it's hard that there's like all these factors happening at the same time, and all of this could be happening regardless of Tatum's injury and the new ownership group, just because of the way the CBA is structured.
Yeah, it's crazy. And where are they at now, Kevin? I've brought in a couple guys, Luka Garza, Josh Minot, just trying to hold the line, fill some of those positions. But this looks like it could be a significantly worse team this year. Just how much worse is it going to be?
I mean, look, like I think the bullish argument. I mean, what is bullish? Bullish in some people's mind is getting the number 1 pick and drafting AJ Dibata or Cam Boozer or Darren Peterson.
Where are you at on
but,
it?
Well, I think bullish. Well, I think for the Boston Celtics, my bullish scenario is like they're fun and they're competitive and young guys get better. Hugo González becomes a rotation guy and Shireman has a great year and Peyton Pritchard starts to fulfill your prophecy of him being an
Thank you. I was
all-star.
waiting for that.
Like these types of things, like that to me, that is bullish. But also, like, they don't make the playoffs and they get lucky in the lottery like the Mavericks did with, like, the 10th best odds or the 9th or 11th best odds, whatever, and they land a top 4 pick. To me, that's best-case scenario. But in terms of, like, the wins and losses, like that column, bullish, I think, for them is Pritchard takes a leap. These young guys get better. Tatum is able to, possibly return late in the year because the team is so good, whether he does or not. Brown gets even better. And they're, like, the 5 seed. To me, I think that's like their ceiling as currently constructed. To me, like the bearish argument for Boston is that, well, I mean, like Atlanta got way better. The Knicks got better. Everybody in the Eastern Conference, up and down the line, everybody got better pretty much.
Except for the Pacers.
Except for the Pacers. And so, like, to me, like, it's also possible Boston is like the 10 seed.
Yeah.
And it's still possibly a fun year with young guys getting better. Like, you're not contending anymore, but it's just not leading to wins and losses in the ways that you would, think that it could possibly. That's in part because of the way the East improved. And I think, in all likelihood, Boston will be somewhere in the middle. 7 seed, 8 seed, 9 seed, something along those lines, and they're in the play-in and they have to fight to get into the postseason. And, if that is the case, there will be arguments at that time like, whoa, we want to miss the playoffs. This is not good. It's not good to make it, and we'll see how things pan out. It's still only July 10th right now.
Noah's very anti-tank. I'm not crazy.
Well, it's not
about it.
tanking. It's not tanking.
Yeah, I know.
It's just you're not good.
I like what you're outlining, but I hate the idea. I mean, we can't deny that there's a big tanking problem in the NBA, in my opinion, where it's a certain point in the year, teams just start shutting down healthy players. Like, I have a very vivid memory of being in the Philadelphia 76ers locker room in, like, March and just seeing all these healthy guys, like, in street clothes.
Yeah,
and I was
starting every game.
And I was like, okay, the NBA needs to do something about this. Like, this can't be the day-to-day.
And that's what the Celtics would have to do to tank in this conference.
At a certain, what I don't want to see is I don't want to see Derek White and Jaylen Brown sitting out games when they're healthy late in the season for lottery odds. But unfortunately, the way the current system is like it does incentivize that. So that is just like from my basketball purist standpoint, like that would suck to see two guys in their prime who potentially could be going for All-Star, All-NBA, whatever else it is, because of the fact that that's the way the odds are constructed.
I know, but like it's the way the rules are.
I know.
The odds forced Boston to have to trade these guys. The odds incentivize you to not make the play-in or not make the playoffs. It's just, like, because sometimes you can get lucky, like Dallas just did with the 11th best odds. They move all the way up to number 1 and they get Cooper Flag. Or like years ago, New Orleans, I think they had like the 9th best odds. They move up and they get Zion, and it doesn't always work out. Like players, you get a number 1 pick, it's not always a superstar. But to have an opportunity to take one of those guys, to go back to your early question, Bobby, with like, to me, like I know, like every year people are always like, well, next year's draft. But like this year, really next year's draft in terms
You're
of
super
like,
high on it, aren't
yeah,
you?
I mean, AJ DiBonsa, starting with him, he's from Brockton, Massachusetts. I'm also from Brockton, so shout out Brockton represent.
Is that going to alter your rankings?
Yeah, probably. but AJ DiBonsa, like he's 6'9", he's a shot creator. He's like Garnett-esque intensity on defense. The type of guy who would slam the floor.
Okay, fine. They can tank.
But
that sounds pretty good.
But to me, like, there's guys out there.
Yeah.
Darren Peterson, a 6'6" guard at Kansas. Cam Boozer, just a rock solid, versatile 6'10" center.
This is the only way they're going to be able to rebuild. They don't have flexibility, really.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, talk about sustainability. Tatum is still only in his mid-late 20s. Jaylen Brown is not 30 years old yet. So, like, they still have a long runway of contention in the years ahead. And so for Boston, the silver lining of the Tatum injury is, well, maybe this year, like, you end up getting a top 4 pick and you get an opportunity to get one of those guys. And luck is on your side for not tanking, for competing and trying to be a team that continues playing the quote-unquote right way. And so I don't think the Celtics are going to tank, but if a guy is hurt, well, maybe you rest him a little longer because.
And that's fair, but it has gotten egregious. Like, would you agree that?
Oh,
the
for
way,
sure.
Like I think of
with the new
Utah as the
odds.
prime
it did not
example.
help. If anything, it made it worse.
Right.
I know. Look what Utah's doing.
I know. If anything, it made it worse.
Like, think about guys like Lauri Markkanen and like why, like what's going on with his career? Like these are healthy players.
Guys get lost.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I would hate to see. Like as somebody who's been covering this team, like I would hate to
But
see.
1 year isn't going to do anything long term for some of these
and
guys.
I've been hearing a lot of people have been saying that to
It's
me.
a
so.
gap year.
It's a gap year. It is a gap
I'm gonna
year.
drop my anti-tank position when the season starts. Or I'm gonna become insufferable. But give me like 2 more weeks.
Well, see, you guys are going to be watching the draft this year.
Yep.
Is what's going to happen.
I know.
Watching college basketball.
We're gonna have you on
Excited
every
for that.
week. We're gonna.
The beauty of a gap year, though, is I think this makes the Celtics a pretty compelling Damian Lillard destination, and he officially became a free agent today. Real quick, we're powered by PrizePicks. Go over there throughout this summer showcase here in Vegas and pick from all the best players who are going to be in action here. 2 or more players pick more or less on their stat projections. You got your daily fantasy sports team. Use the code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play a $5 lineup. And for Lillard, is Boston the team? We've heard the Warriors. We've heard the Lakers. I know you've had some ideas as well of what could be good destination for him. The obvious big connection here is Jason Tatum and the fact that those guys are both going through a similar Achilles timeline.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now.
I think for Dame, there has to be some appeal in Boston because you don't have to be the guy when you get back. You have Tatum, you have Brown, you have Peyton Pritchard for that matter.
Yep.
Like you can rest, you can load manage as you recover from the Achilles injury. There's probably not a better situation from that standpoint. But if you're Damian Lillard, do you want to go to a team where you might be the backup point guard to Peyton Pritchard? To Derek White and these guys? Or do you want to go to a team where you're going to be the starter and you're going to get opportunities to go back and be Damian Lillard again? And so I think for him, like a team like the Miami Heat offer that to him more so than Boston
That's
does.
the first team I thought of.
Yeah,
given
but
his
Well, that's where he
previous
wanted to
interest
go
there.
initially.
Exactly.
Like that's the other thing. I think Celtics fans have been getting so excited about the Damian Lillard possibility. There's been a little bit of reporting that there's some interest on both sides. Obviously, from the Celtics standpoint, if you can get him cheap, like why not?
Are you in?
But am I in on? Yeah, I mean, sure. Why not? He's a great he's
agree.
an all-time great three-point
cheap.
shooter.
He might
For
hurt
cheap.
Pritchard's minutes.
I'm all about the team,
Okay.
maximizing the opportunities. And honestly, like if Peyton Pritchard is who I think he is, then who I think he can become, there's an addition of another guard is only going to be a beneficial thing. And if he's not, then there better be another guard on the way, because next year is a big opportunity for him, but also a big challenge, right? I think the reality though is that we all know where Damian Lillard's head was at 2 years ago. He wanted to go to Miami. The reporting has been that he misses his kids who are in Portland. So to me, it's like there are some geographic things, like maybe he wants to be near home and on the West Coast. Maybe he wants to go to the city that he has wanted to go to all along. Like, I don't really know where Boston fits in. Like, I would love to see him in Boston, but I feel like it's a little bit of like,
it's a
Celtics
basketball
fans like
fit.
kind of looking for something to be excited about. And I hope I'm wrong, because I would love to see him in Boston.
It's a basketball fit, I think. All the threes they shoot, the depth of the threes they shoot at the point of attack, what Tatum has been doing there. I'd love to see Lillard in that role, and they just need some excitement. Even if it's not a perfect fit, it's a minimum, right? Like, what's the harm?
Yeah. I mean, look, do you want to win a championship or not? If you're Damian Lillard, you're not going to go to Miami and win a title.
Where's Golden State?
Yeah, I
a
mean,
year
like
from
so
now? They
some
might
of
be a
these
little bit
teams,
closer.
you're not going to go back to Portland and win a title
Even the
anytime
Lakers,
soon.
is LeBron
He
even there next
can
year?
go back to Portland when he's 40, and they're better set up to win a championship.
I think
at
he's
that
going to
point.
end up in Boston. What's your prediction?
Would you say you think he's going to end up?
I think he's going to end up in Boston.
You think in Boston? I don't know. I think he's going to go where he
Maybe
wants to go.
next summer.
And I have no intel on Dame right now. I would say Miami was what my gut would say, because that's where he wanted to go in the
Yeah.
first place, right?
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
that what
we
you're
all know
thinking?
he was so. When's the most recent case of a free agent being that adamant, or a under contract player being that
He
adamant about where they
wanted
wanted to
Miami.
go?
Period.
Everybody knew it,
And he
right?
got
Like Jimmy
Milwaukee.
Butler shows up to training camp, right? So I think that's like an obvious link. I know people have been saying minimum contract, but he could make more than that,
Next
right?
summer,
Like there's
for
no
sure.
incentive for him to take as little
Oh,
as
for
possible.
sure.
Obviously, he has income coming in for the next couple of years, and it's a
But
great
doesn't the
situation.
salary offset? That's how it's going to work.
It doesn't
here,
offset,
It
right?
doesn't?
No, like he's still going to get paid that money, but then he could
Plus
get paid
anything else.
paid
Okay.
whatever additionally as well. So like if a team signed him to the mid-level,
Someone's going to offer him more than the minimum.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would assume
There's a
someone's
lot
going to
of
offer
worse
him more
players
than
that are on the
for
mid-level
sure,
right now. so-
100%. Even if he misses the entire season, but I mean, ultimately, I think it would be a cool story. Dame's rehabbing an Achilles, Tatum's rehabbing an Achilles, and then they both
I know,
come
from a
back
media
next year.
standpoint, we're salivating at like the dual Achilles
Yeah,
rehab.
but to me, like the most
Yeah.
interesting stories is development. Like it's progress of young guys, because
Yep.
like
And that's what this year is going to be all
it's
about.
all about that. Like to me, that's like I can't wait to watch like Hugo González. He plays like 8 minutes a game for Real Madrid this year, and this year in summer league he's probably going to be playing 25 plus minutes per game in the summer league.
So
and
what's his fit on this roster? And you mentioned it when you went on Noah's show as one of the possibilities for them. I was pleasantly surprised they went with a guy like that, because I figured maybe it's a center, maybe it's a more ready-made guy, but obviously they're in the position to be patient with a 19-year-old who has some upside here. Here the cutting's great. Here the defense is. I think Jordan Walsh called him a defensive menace out there at these.
That's
scrimmages.
accurate.
Yeah.
He's a hustler. He's the type of guy who will dive on the floor for a loose ball, who will make second, third, fourth efforts on the defensive end. In his minutes out there, he always tries to make the most of those minutes. And I think with him, offensively, in theory, he makes sense in the Missoula offense because he can attack closeouts. He'll make the right pass. He's selfless. The question with Gonzalez is what level does he reach as a shooter, as it is for so many young guys
Are you
that
high
that's
on
the
that?
NBA. I mean, I'm up and down. He's been a above average free throw shooter. He's got some touch, playing for the youth team in Spain and for the under 18 team for Real Madrid. He did show up and down flashes. I think with Boston, he's somebody you're probably gonna have to be patient with. But at the same time, like, to me, this is a year about development. I hope to see him play consistent minutes, whether it's for the Maine Celtics or for the Boston Celtics. I think a guy like that deserves consistent investment, because Real Madrid, they're trying to win. Like, they're a winning team. He's just a young player. They're the type of franchise that's not invested in the development of a young guy like that. Whereas for Boston, I assume he's going to be getting 20-plus minutes per game for the Celtics
I
or
love it.
30-plus minutes per game for the Maine Celtics. And so I just can't wait personally to see Hugo play consistent minutes and see how he can sustain that type of menace, the mentality on defense confidence that Jordan Walsh was talking about over the course of a long game rather than playing in spurts like he did for Real Madrid.
And he's already talked about how the distance of the NBA 3-point line has been an adjustment for him. Like he named that as like the biggest. Yeah, the biggest adjustment. So that's something to watch for, like that, those numbers could actually decline a little bit from the jump, I think, just as he gets his feet under him. But to me, like between Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh, Hugo, like is there one that you think this year is going to kind of break through? I feel like one of those guys has to become a part of the rotation, almost just like looking at the numbers.
Shireman feels like the easy bet. It's a year or two for him. Older prospect. Yeah. He's got a year under his belt of experience. He's got a more reliable jumper.
He looks a little more chiseled too, from what we've seen.
I mean, like another year of like physical development as well. So I think Shireman is the safe bet. And I think for the Celtics, like you can afford to be more patient with Gonzalez and with Shireman. I think you want to see something this year. He's in his 20s already. I mean, like you want to see something sooner than later.
I was a little disappointed he didn't play as much, and I think he was too, from what we've gleaned from him and having him on the show a couple of weeks ago. Like, I think he wanted more NBA minutes year one. By the end of the season, whether it was because of those main minutes or just his physical development, like you talked about, he was in a position to succeed by then.
Yeah, and I think for this year for Boston, that's the thing. It's like you lose Tatum. Like, who's going to fill that void? And that's going to come a little bit from Derek White, a little bit from Pritchard, more from Brown. Like maybe Hauser gets an extra 3 a game, and but it's also guys like Baylor Shireman and these guys more on the edges of the roster that are going to fill those responsibility of touches and shots that are left from Tatum. And I think for Shireman, I liked him in the draft. I think he makes sense in Missoula's system, and so I think he's a fair bet to be a guy that's going to get that shot first.
I want to hear from you about the center position, because Brad even smiled. Noah asked him about what they're doing at center, and he was like, we're going to see.
Is that really what he said?
So I always ask those questions because I'm curious if he's going to like name one guy, and then you get a sense of like that's the person that's
first on his mind.
Yeah,
psychologically, right?
That's what I'm going, because I know he's not going to.
He went to Cada, right?
But he not really. He was like, we'll see, and then he went down the line of like, we've always liked Luka Garza, Amari Williams. We think he has a high upside, and then he said Cada, this is a good opportunity for him to be impactful. Like he went down the.
That order.
I don't remember the order, but I don't want to misquote Brad. But
Garza first. Luka Garza minutes.
I think it was Nemi first.
Okay. It sounded like you love Garza.
But it wasn't resounding in anyone's direction. So I just didn't know, because they did kind of let. Ultimately, I think they could have pursued Al or Luka a little bit harder than they did.
I wish they kept Luke.
Really?
So what do they have here? We're going to see Amari this week. Luka's a guy I've always liked. His college career was incredible.
Dominant.
He hasn't done much in the NBA. Josh
hasn't got much chances, though.
No, he hasn't. Josh Minot, he could maybe play a little center.
He's a big wing. Yeah. He's not a 5.
So what do you see them doing at center this year?
I mean, I think this is where the tanking comes in.
If there's any sign that they're doing that,
this is it right here.
I mean, it's unreal. Do they have the worst center situation in the league? No offense to anyone involved.
Yes, probably.
I think Nemi could surprise us.
I like Cada. I do.
I like Cada
really
too.
Good spurts, but like this was always my thing. I know people get on Joe for not playing the young guys, but when you have Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, and Luke Kornet, who had like a really strong year last year, and Nemi's making like 2 mistakes on defensively, like I would probably put an Al too. Like we're trying to win a championship. Like we're not time for this, But now you have an opportunity to have him play 30 minutes a night and play through those things. I think he can be like a 12-12 guy that is solid.
He was the G League Defensive Player of the Year.
Famously. Trust me, with the G League stuff, I'm all over it.
And so with Garza, I like Garza. Obviously he's a dominant college player. He has not gotten much of a chance in the NBA.
He can shoot. The numbers haven't shown it,
but
he can.
He was dominant in 22 G League games.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some great preseason games. When provided chances, he's been solid. And so I think I've always been curious to see Garza get more consistent opportunity ever since he entered the NBA with Detroit and then with Minnesota.
I agree.
And so I'm so happy that Stevens must see it the same way. He's like, what, screw it. We'll give this guy who was a dominant college player, dominant high school player.
He might play 20 minutes a game.
You don't know. Like maybe Garza ends up becoming like a solid rotation guy. I can't rule that out. But with that said, he does have his limitations defensively. He does have his limitations with his size. He's not gotten opportunities for a reason. But if there's any team that can experiment and play with different guys, give Cade a consistent run. To your point, give Luka Garza an opportunity. Give a rookie like Amari Williams more chances.
Amari, I'm curious.
You're going to see some nice passes. Like the dude is a 7-footer. He can handle a little bit. He can play make, run dribble handoffs. So I think with him, like you see the importance of Horford and Porzingis and all these Celtic centers, Kornet even to that matter, having feel Amari Williams is a high feel center. And so it makes sense why Stevens targeted him in the second round, considering he fits the profile of what this offense requires. And plus, he's massive. He's not like a vertical lob threat necessarily, but he is big. And so he can catch
huge.
lobs.
I
He's
saw
gigantic.
his introduction, just giant
Yeah,
guy.
so I think for the Celtics, he makes sense roster-wise. I think really all three of their picks make sense with what they go for. But ultimately, I think, Shulga is solid. I hope he gets, we'll see. There's a lot of guys that deserve minutes in the rotation, but
Kenny
ultimately-
Lofton's here.
now Lofton as well. So ultimately, though, I think Gonzalez and Williams are the guys that deserve the most immediate investment on the Boston roster, and then Shulga have him play in Maine and just see how he develops.
I'm so excited to see Gonzalez tomorrow. Celtics going to play the Grizzlies, who have a pretty good squad themselves in both their openers here at Summer League. I know Noah's excited to see Hugo as well. We got an interview coming out with him here at Summer League, so stay tuned for that. And Kevin's going to have a bunch of podcasts coming over at Yahoo.
Yep, got a lot of people. Today I interviewed Bobby Marks and Jason Timpf, and got a lot of people lined up. I'm bringing on A-Rod.
A-Rod?
I should probably ask him about
That's
the
gonna be funny.
glove slap on the first base line.
You got to throw in a lot
I
of
I only get like
baseball
20 minutes with him, but I saw A-Rod.
man, that's
So I got
awesome.
a lot of people coming up on my podcast in the few next weeks ahead.
All right, and we'll have some podcasts here throughout, post-game shows after every game here at Summer League. Noah's going to have the full slate covered here. I got the first 3 games. And of
You're
course,
crazy.
following with
Full
Kevin.
slate.
Year
can't
two.
help
Year two with the
herself.
full slate.
She can't help herself. And this has been the Garden Report. Again, subscribe, CLNS Media, Celtics All Access. Thanks to Kevin, Noah Dalzell. And we'll talk to you soon out here from Las Vegas.